What's going on, my good people? This your boy Lap Up the Entertainer here to bring you some action with UAPB. This is their halftime performances that I did not get a chance to see. The thing is about UAPB this season, they only had one true battle, and so I graded that with Alcorn. So if you wanted to see that battle, please click on the link above. They had a dry season. I think media team also was not as prevalent as they could have been. One thing I do know is that they had a performance against Grambling because Grambling actually came to their home. Grambling got a field show of them in UAPB, but UAPB's media team did not capture footage of them being there. So I was like, that's a humongous letdown. So I don't know if something catastrophic happened or what, but definitely was a letdown, and I'm kind of shocked that either media team didn't get fifth quarter. But regardless of that is concerned, I feel like UAPB is a good band. Last year I ranked them as the most improved band. So I'm really hoping that they really wow me in these field shows. I got 5 performances. The last performance that I seen them, well, I heard about is that they went to the Dallas Mavericks game, and they performed a quick little performance at their basketball court. So we will be grading that as well. But we got all these other field shows. We got them going against a PWI. They have high school day. I'm grading their homecoming and their gospel show. Okay, so they got some good performances up here, but I'm glad to see what it's going to look like. I'm going with the media team. There's no other media team footage of the band as far as field show is concerned. They have a lot of close-up videos, but usually media teams kind of hide their mistakes. But I'm going to try to do my best to find any errors in these field shows. Okay, so I'm going to be looking hard. But hey, if they do very good, I'm going to give them a W on their record. Okay, right now, they haven't got the best of records right now because I haven't really seen them this season. And like I said, the only time I seen them was when they went against Alcorn. But this is the first in the series as far as me grading field shows. So this would be one of the first bands that get this type of love. Past video with Alcorn, I thought Alcorn had some videos of them going against PWIs, but they didn't. So you kind of get what I'm getting at. So we're looking out for this type of content now, since we are in the off season of HBCU bands. Okay, so I will be grading some parade battles. I will be doing that, so be looking out for that next week as well. I got an update video on a couple of bands, so it's some stuff here and there. Okay, but just to sprinkle y'all in. But we are grading this. Okay, so how will UAPB get a dub? Let me explain that. Look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. We got the entrance, songs, formations, dancers, breakdown of our creativity. Maximum points they can make altogether is 25. With their creative, they can run up to a possible 30. If they're able to get a 5 in all those categories besides creative, I would give them a perfect field show rating, and they will receive a dub on their name. Okay? But if they're not able to do that, if they're able to get some creative points and they make at least a 27, I would give them a dub on their record. Anything outside of that is not a passing grade. Okay? So I really hope that they bring that intensity for these field shows in order for me to give them a passing grade. Okay? Not all bands are blessed to travel, and not all bands are blessed to come see other bands as well. So I say this to tell you, I kind of hate that I didn't get a chance to see that many battles, but it is what it is, So I'm excited to see what UAPB is going to bring. I'm hoping the best for them, and I'm hoping that their record won't just be 0-1. Okay? So with that being said, let's get into the action. This is them going against USCA.
The machine is now filled already. So let's just flip the switch and get this band on the field. Marching band fans far and wide, do me a favor and let me hear you for the mesmerizing, the magnificent, marching, musical machine of the Mid-South. The band will now open up the floor.
Tighten up on that a little bit.
By George Benson. Let's go.
Some other 8 to 5 issues in the 8. Some people skate in this formation, so they're not getting their legs back. So that person's just walking. Alright, let's get that a grade. Interesting field show. Very interesting field show. I could tell that was one of their first field shows of the season. Alright. So creativity, I'm gonna give them a 4. Entrance, I'm gonna give them a 4. Songs, a 4. Formations, a 3. Dancers, a 5. Breakdown, I'm gonna give breakdown a 2. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna explain my reason for these grades and so y'all will understand. Entrance, it was nice. Don't get me wrong, entrance was definitely nice. One thing I would say about it is that, you know, it had its moments. It had the energy. The only thing is that, you know, the drum majors were not as clean as it can be. You know, I just feel like it was some parts that were kind of second guessing just a little bit. Could have been cleaner, but it was not bad. Songs, the fanfare in the beginning. You know, the muddy runs. You know, there was some muddy runs in the high brass. Formations. When it comes down to formations, when they did that collapsing A going in and going out, there was some step off and 8-5 issues going on in that. There was some other 8-5 issues going into some other formations as well, and there was also people who were not picking their legs up. Okay, there was people skating out there. Dancers did phenomenal. Breakdown, you know, I want to at least have at least 3 breakdown features for me to say that it was feasible. You know, breakdown had the energy. It looked clean. I'm not mad at the breakdown. I just feel like they needed to give me a little bit extra. But as far as the creativity department, the dancers pretty much covered y'all for the majority. So I mean, it had its moments. It definitely did. But not a bad performance for the first one, and they was pushed on time as well. So they made it work. They made whatever work in that nick of time too. So you got to give credit where credit is due. But they got them a 22 on the first one. So they did not get a passing grade for me on this one. I blame it on the time. You know, usually when you go against PWIs, you don't have that much time. So you really got to utilize your time effectively to get everything done. You know, so I feel like if they would have executed some of those other things right, their score would have been a little bit stronger. Okay? So with that being said, moving on. Alrighty. This is their high school day. You know, I know it looked kind of blurry. That's just how the filter is going into this. But this is their high school day performance, so we're going to be grading that pretty soon. If you made it this far in the video and you're part of the UAPB family, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It means so much to me.
Mesmerizing, the magnificent marching musical machine of the Mid-South. At this time, we'd like to thank Crown Dental in Little Rock, Arkansas for rejuvenating the smile
Using
by
high school
sponsoring the
students
food
as
for
well,
today's
connecting
event.
with it.
Again, Crown Dental, Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's go.
High school is working with the university.
All right, now let me hear you roar for the mesmerizing, the magnificent marching musical machine of the Mid-South. Let's get up on our feet and make some noise for the Carolina.
Sounds very good.
Let's make some noise for Washington Temple High School, Queen Shipper's Valley Academy High School, Bolton Agra Stem High School, Lee High School, Coronation High School, Fairway High School, Little Rock Southwest High School, Indiana High School. applause for the future of UAPB.
That sounded real good. That sounded real good.
You know what time it is. When we put those horns up in the air, this next song is entitled Talking Out the Side of Your Neck. Let's go. I need everybody in the audience to stand up. Woo! Yes, sir. Let's go. Get on up. Let's go. Anybody, everybody, let me hear you scream! I said I'll leave with it, rock with it. Let's go! Before we wrap this day up, we're going to go into our last song. I promise you, we're here to turn you up. The next song is entitled, Bite in My Hand. Let's go.
Bite in my game.
Will be the Part 2, Patriots, and Liberty Band. Next we have the Southwest High. Yeah! Give it up for the ladies that go from Saturday High School. Home team again, let's give it up for Friendship Inspired. Applause for the mesmerizing, the magnificent marching musical machine of the Mid-South as we present to you High School Band Day. Let's go! Give it up for all 300 students that came out to celebrate with us. The marching music machine of the Mid-South. Celebrate us, Mr. John Graham, Mr. Darrell Evans, Mr. Harold Booster, and Mr. Ryan Hayes. Announcer has been yours truly, the best announcer in the sport, Mr. N4 himself, the Lordy Wizard.
Alright, let's get that a grade. Alrighty, that was a very entertaining field show. Very, very entertaining field show. For it to be a high school day, that's, high school day, they get some exemptions on that. So entrance, they get a 5, that look clean. Songs, they get an exemption. Formations, they get a 5. Even though it was just the basic march on and march off, it still look clean. Dancers, they get a 5. Breakdown, they get an exemption. There was no creativity, okay? But they get a passing grade from me, ladies and gentlemen. So here it is. Yeah. They get a perfect field show rating for me on that. Hey, you get a lot of exemptions on high school day, but that's still a dub. I've seen a lot of high school day stuff go tragically wrong. So that says a lot. So, hey, I can't take them, get up too upset about that, because usually I see some high school days when the band performs and then the high schools just rush on the field right after and they do their thing. So I'm kind of glad that they kind of made the field show more so around the high school kids than the band, and so I'm kind of happy that they did that. So like I said, they get an exemption in certain categories, but it's still a passing grade. So yes, it's a well-deserved passing grade for them. Okay, so yes, put a dub on their record. So here it is. Fire. Well-deserved dub. I hope I can see more dubs from them. So now they 1-1 right now. They're 1-1. So hopefully they can get them bounce back and get a good record at the end of this video. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see, because I'm gonna hold them to it. I'm gonna hold them to it. So, if you made it this far in the video, again, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. Alrighty. This is their homecoming performance, okay? Homecoming, they went against Westgate, but I don't think Westgate had a band or brought their band, so, it is what it is on that. So, it's just type of season that they don't had. So anyway, let's get into the action. This is their homecoming performance, okay? Usually with homecoming performances, they have a court. So if they have a court, we're going to skip through that.
Make some noise. Oh, no, that's not good enough, UAPB. I said make some noise. What's that magnificent marching, musical, machine, assembly.
Okay. Alright, UAPB.
Let's switch and get this band on the field. Park the band fans far and wide. Do me a favor and let me hear you roar. For the master, the magnificent, marching, musical, machine. crowd to sing. This is one of the R&B classics known as Nobody by Keith Sweat, sung by Mr. Vernon King and Mr. Tyus. Let's go.
You know, it's crucial when the boy get on one knee for it. Boy, get on one knee for it, boy.
Hey, this way. UAPB never stands up. You at a party, baby, and there ain't no party. Like it is no party. Yes, it is no party. Yes,
Alrighty, let's give it a good grade. Alrighty, very entertaining field show. Very entertaining field show. So let's give it the grades. Let's see what we got. Alright, creativity, I'm gonna give them a 5. Entrance, I'm gonna give them a 5. Songs, I'm gonna give them a 5. Formations, a 5. Dancers, a 5. Breakdown, a 4. Alright, so they got them a 29. A 29. Almost a perfect and almost a perfect 30. Very good field show. Very good field show. One thing I would say about the breakdown is that, you know, it was just some stiff vanilla beans in there, if you get what I'm saying. There was some stiff points up in there, and, you know, you got to also get them unstiff. And there was also some parts in the breakdown that can be a tad bit cleaner. It was some bandsmen that was kind of guessing in what they were trying to do as far as the breakdown. But it was good. gave me 4 features, which is impressive. You know, some bands don't even give me 4. They stop at 2. So that's very, very good. But very strong field show. That was a passing grade. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all. There it is, man. So now they are 2-1. Not bad, UAPB. Not bad at all. That's a good record to hold on to their name right there. Not bad at all. Okay? So, with that being said, we're moving on to the next field show. This is their gospel performance, okay? Usually with gospel performances, they don't break it down so they would get an exemption. But if they do, that changes the landscape of the breakdown category. So, it kind of depends on the band or what they are going to do on the field. But I'm excited to see what they're going to do. This gospel performance is when they went against FAMU. FAMU band, of course, is not going to travel all the way to Arkansas. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I would love for FAMU to travel. But, you know, money is involved with a lot of things. But it is what it is. But I'm excited to see what they're going to bring in this. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. Alright? So with that being said, let's get to it.
Golden Lion Nation, are you ready for a gospel extravaganza? Giving our glory to God, I present you our lead. Extraordinary. Gentlemen.
I like how they get straight to it.
The machine is now filled and ready. Somebody just flip the switch and get this band on the field. Marching band fans far and wide, do me a favor and let me hear you give praise to God.
This is UAPB specialty, man. They play some gospel or some ballads. They top tier, man.
The band will now open up to a powerful sound of Lord, you are good. Let everything that has breath praise be Lord. It's the last game of the season. It's usually the for our gospel show. After a season full of blessings, this show is a must. Dwell to my liberty, by you learn that. I present to you the mesmerizing, the magnificent, marching, musical machine of the Mid-South. And
Mama 8 to 5.
the place where you want to be. Hey, go to Lord. If you love the Lord, let me hear you say, I love the Lord. Give me one more time. Say, I love the Lord. Hey, the Lord's been good
Follow
to
leader
you.
drill.
Say, Lord, you've been good to me. Hey, I need to go to lines. One more time, Lord, you've been good to me. If the Lord is still blessing you, let me hear you say, Lord, I am blessed. Let me hear you say it again, Lord, I am blessed. Oh yeah, boy, let's take him to church. The mesmerizing, the magnificent, marching, musical machine of the Mid-South will now serenade you with our rendition of For Every Mountain, sung by Miss Kaya Tucker.
I got so much to thank God for. So many wonderful blessings.
the same.
That's why I praise you. And for this, I give you praise.
Make some noise for Miss Kaya Tucker! And for our dance ministry, make some noise for the sensational 24-karat golden silk. Everybody, UAPB Golden Girls. And accompanying the Golden Girls are the majestic angels from First Baptist Church, Highland Park. UAPB, make some noise. Clap for us. Clap for him. The Waymaker, the provider. God,
Alrighty, let's get that agreed. Alrighty, that was an interesting gospel show. That was an interesting gospel show. It was very, very nice to look at. Alrighty, so entrance is a 5. Got straight to the point. Songs, I'm going to give them a 3. Formations, I'm going to give them a 5. Dancers, I'm going to give dancers a 5. Breakdown is an exemption. Alright, so was it a passing grade? Let's find out. Was not a perfect field show, but was it a passing grade? Let's do some calculations here. They got them a 26 on that. So they missed it by 1 point. 1 point. It's right there, but it's not there. All right. So what was the tell of the take for this one? So songs, the runs can be a tad bit tighter. There was some this is a complicated they had some complicated arrangements, and they were skating through those runs a lot. You know, those runs really was hurting them. You know, I don't usually take off when they're marching, but when they're stationary, which they was, you know, you could tell that they were skating through on that. So I got to dock them, and they didn't do it on one song. They did it on 2 songs. You know, those back-to-back songs. You know, so I gave them a 3 on that. It was also missing some creative points as well. I just feel like it just needed some extra oomph in the field show. You know, it had some points with the choreography, you know, they had some points there, but I just feel like they kind of missed the marker on the creativity on that. Besides that, everything else was good. I gave them an exemption and breakdown as you know, that's you don't really break it down on the gospel show. Some bands do, surprisingly, but you know, you don't break it down in the gospel show. But they got a 26. They got a 26. If they would have gave me one more creative thing, if I could have picked out one more creative thing, they possibly would have got a 27 on that. All right. So they missed about 1 point, but it's still 2 on 1. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. They still got one more. They got one more thing, and that'll be the final record for the season. Okay, this is their last performance that they have documented as of right now. You know, if they do have any battles or anything in parade season, and I come across it, I will be grading it. So right now, you know, whatever comes out of this will be the current record. Current official record until there is something else that comes up. But I do not know what to expect from this, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do for the Dallas Mavericks. Usually when it comes down to sports, NBA or NFL, they are cut on time drastically. Usually they have 6 minutes or 5 minutes and some change to perform. So they got to get in and get out. Alright, so I'm excited to see what they're going to bring here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is my fair, honest take. Don't take it to heart. It's all love here at the end of the day. Okay? You got to remember this too. UAPB did not have that many battles this season, so you can't get upset about the record that they do have. Okay? So with that being said, let's get into the action. Alrighty, let's see. See if they get that passing grade. Minor 8 to 5 issues here. Alrighty. Let's get that a grade. Let's get that a grade. Not a bad field show. Not a bad field show, but it was not a perfect field show. Alright. So, creativity, I'm gonna give them a 4. Breakdown, I'm gonna give breakdown a 3. Dancers, no, I'm not. I'm gonna give breakdown a 4. Dancers, I'm gonna give them a 5. Formations, I'm gonna give them a 4. Songs, I'm gonna give them a 5. Entrance, I'm gonna give them a 5. Alright. So, they end up getting themselves a 27. Okay? They got themselves a 27 on that one. So, that was a passing grade. They was able to get over, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely was. One thing I would add is that there was some people who were skating. If they was picking their legs up, it would make a bigger difference. You know, I would say that. I think that was one thing that was kind of hurting them, that people were executing as far as that. Now, as far as breakdown is concerned, it was good. It was a very good breakdown. It was some clean parts. There were some parts that need to be just a tad bit tighter, but I also wanted one more feature. One more feature that kind of left me hanging. I needed one more. Creativity, they had some good, unique creative features in there, especially with the girls, what they brought the hats out for MJ. They did the little MJ dance. You know, I thought that was pretty cool, you know. So they had some moments in there as well. So I enjoyed that piece from them. So yes, it was a passing grade, ladies and gentlemen. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So this is their official record for the season. They got them 3 wins and 1 loss. All right, 3 wins and 1 loss. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Okay. I think that's a good record to brag about, as far as them saying that they only had 1 battle and the rest of these field shows had some moments. You know, I definitely would say that, you know, one thing I do expect from them, if I do see them again this year, is that I'm hoping that their field shows become a little bit more tighter in 2026. One thing I feel like, you know, UAPB definitely has the momentum to be a strong band. This is one of the few bands that do get overlooked a lot, and I feel like that band does need to get some more credit, more recognition than what they do. Okay, so I would say that, but they finished off strong with a 3-1 record. Not bad at all. You know, I hope they get more exposure this upcoming season, but you know, definitely was something nice to look at. Definitely was something nice to look at. So good job, UAPB, for finishing strong. Okay, that's a nice record to brag about, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I would say as well is that if you made it this far in the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much. And also, you know, I want to highlight as well is that, you know, I got other bands I'm going to be grading in the SWAC. This all goes into the SWAC tier list, okay? So, you know, I will be coming up with that SWAC tier list here very soon once I get all these bands graded up for the SWAC. So be looking out for that footage very soon, okay? I really appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching me watch these field shows and these performances. It means a lot, you know. Again, like I said, you know, this is something new in the series. I've done it last year, and this is something we do in the off season to grade performances, especially bands who don't get recognized. So I'm glad that I can bless UAPB with this, and hopefully that will help boost their recruitment as well. But, you know, like I said, here and there, you know, definitely have high expectations for them next year as far as them traveling and get a chance to get more recognized, okay? So with that being said, man, I'm finna tap out of here, man. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. And like I tell y'all always, deuces.